Hi guys and welcome to the channel, and today's video is the start of our Silver Bayonet project. Back at Christmas and that, we decided to get ourselves sort of a joint little gift. Was the North Stars bundle deal for the Silver Bayonet, which was the rule book and the 3 Wave 1 factions at the time, which was the British, the French and the Spanish. Nick at North Star for the bundle deal also chucked in a couple of extra miniatures, which we'll show you again shortly in a while. We've made a start and we've done the British Warband, painted all that up. You may have seen on the community page I put a progress picture up a week or so ago. We've now managed to finish them and we've made a headway into starting the French and the Spanish. So those will come in a future video once we finish those off. And but today's video today is the start of the project, showing you just the British one that we've painted up today. Silver Bayonet, if you've not heard of it, what is it? Well, it's written by Joseph McCulloch. Now Joseph McCulloch is very well renowned now in the wargaming sort of world, with the likes of Frostgrave, Ghost Archipelago, Rangers Shadow Deep, and also Oathmark. I know a few of you out there play Oathmark and that. I've not played it myself, but it does look interesting. Looks really good game actually. Very old school sort of Warhammer game style game. Looks really interesting. But again, I know a lot of you play it out there and that, and you've built some lovely armies and that, which I've enjoyed watching your videos, especially Leon's army built for Oathmark. Really good. So, what is it? Well, Silver Bayonet is a war game set in a Napoleonic sort of Gothic horror. So it's played on a 3x3 board, which is not unlike Joseph's other sort of games, other than Oathmark, his other sort of skirmish games, all on a 3x3. And you are a sort of a war band with, as Liam Neeson would say, a unique set of skills. You can sort of different characters and that in the game, varying from the sort of ordinary sort of infantrymen, the officers and that type of thing, all the way through to supernatural investigators, veteran hunters, you name it, and you can equip the characters and that accordingly to their character type and that, what they can have and everything else. The leaders and that have his own sort of attributes, along with the actual figures have their own little attributes that sort of gives it that little bit of flavour. And along the way you're going to come up across sort of monsters, anything from sort of trolls, goblins, the sort of fantasy sort of stuff, and the vampires and that type of thing, and anything you'd expect in sort of a fantasy stroke sort of gothic sort of setting. Really interesting. I say reading sort of through the book and that, the actual book itself, I do like the way it's sort of done like a leather sort of journal, and all the way through you get that sense of how it's written, that you know, his own insights and that in there. The artwork in there is superb. I love the artwork and that. And if you haven't seen it, there's loads of images and that on Google Images. It's superb. That really is nice artwork in there. But then, anyway, that's enough for me rambling in there. Without further ado, let's get the camera spun round and let's take a look at the first faction, the British. So just coming round in front of you now is the officer who's leading the warband, armed with a pistol and sword. And next to him is obviously an ordinary infantry rifleman armed with his Baker rifle. All the miniatures were painted up using Citadel's paints, with a couple of Vallejo paints, and that was used. But the bulk of it, and that was mainly Citadel sort of base paints and layer paints, and with a little bit of contrast in some areas on some bits. Basin and that, the reason I chose the basin for the way they are is I already got some sort of Napoleonic skirmish figures, which I forgot I had actually, and I wanted them to sort of match in with those so I can sort of add in those figures and that to this collection. So that's the officer and the rifleman of the British Warbands. So coming around now, we have the Highlander. Obviously, he's a very nice character and that in this one. Just get an ordinary infantry, you pay the points cost and that, you got 100 points to spend it for your warband. You get your officer for free to start with, and then you add in, characters up to 100 points value into the warband. So it sort of works out around these 8 figures and that are in each warband. But the Highlander is a very nice figure. Next one coming round next to him is the veteran hunter. Obviously he's seen a bit of, he understands what's going on, sort of like with the Gothic horror setting, some of the sort of like the supernatural things that are going on. So he's armed, ready, obviously, to take on anything that comes with his sort of like his hammer and his axe there. Very nice figures. And again, I think, like I said, throughout all the range and that they've done, the 3 warbands that we've got especially, they are sort of really full of character. Coming round now then, we have the supernatural investigator. Again, along with the veteran hunter, these guys sort of like work in the background and that, and they sort of know what's going on. They really want to find out what is the root cause of this this sort of like these strange findings and that. Where are these artifacts that we can deal with these sort of like strange beings that's going on? Yeah, so again, a lovely character and that. And as I said, the sculpting on all of them, as I said, keep sort of repeating myself, and that it is really, really nice. Next up, coming round then, is they call it on the list a light infantryman, but he's more of a light infantryman junior officer. Again, he's another character you can add into your warbands of a junior officer, which can help aid sort of like inspiration on courage checks and command rolls. So again, I've sort of done him up in that. It's sort of okay, the light infantryman. Again, as I said, copying all what North Star's done really. Some of the colour palette and that on the historical side of the figures that aren't quite right, but again, that's sort of, for me, it keeps it in that sort of setting. So yeah, there you go, that's the light infantryman officer and the supernatural investigator. So coming around now in front of you is the doctor. I like a little doctor's pouch and that on the ground there. It's really cool, and it's sort of like he's got his cloak round behind him. Yeah, look at me. I'm the doc, out the way, coming through. Yeah, really nice and that. And again, I really like him. He's got his little glasses on and that, which again really sort of stand out on him. And it's again really, really fun character. Like I say, all of them are really fun to look at. Next to him, then coming round, then is the artilleryman. Again, another nice character. If you've got a couple of guns on the table, you know, you can go up and sort of aid help and get the guns working. So yeah, he's really nice, and again, I love the way he sort of, the dynamics I think on all of these and that are really, really nice. They look like they're actually doing something. They look like they're moving on the table, although they're inanimate objects, but they look like they're moving, if you can get my drift and that on that. But yeah, there you go. That is the last of the two. Okay, so coming up now then is one of the free miniatures that came in the bundle deal, which is the Veteran Hunter. So again, Veteran Hunters and that, most of the factions and that in the Silver Bayonet book can take a Veteran Hunter. So this is quite a nice one because some of them don't come with one. So you've got one that you can add in. You could buy an extra figure in if you want to. So that almost like having him as like a mercenary and that type of thing. Coming down next to him is one of the hobgoblins. We decided not to go with the green that everyone would normally paint sort of hobgoblins with, and that we thought, well, let's go with the grey and that, sort of, very keeping that sort of gothic dark sort of look and that about them. And we all sort of went for a grey sort of look. There is, I think they're going to do a set. I think it's three figures in a pack is what's coming out soon. I'm not quite sure. You'll have to sort of check on North Star's website to have a look at that. And I'll leave a link to North Star's website in the description below. But that's two of the free miniatures that came in the bundle, the Veteran Hunter and the Hobgoblin. So there we have it then, guys. This is the British Warband, all complete, all the 8 figures and that all done, all put together. You can sort of get a sense of how characterful and that they are when they're all together like this. And as I say, the French and the Spanish, as we're going through those and painting those up and that, and they're no different. They are a lot of fun. Again, I think Nick at North Star and that can be proud of his figures and that he's done for these. Really, really nice and that. So that's it for the video today then, guys. Hope you've enjoyed sort of this little preview and that of the Silver Bayonet British Warband. And as we said earlier, the French and the Spanish and that warbands are in the process of being done, and those videos will be getting out to you shortly. So to keep a notification of that when that happens, hit the subscribe button, hit the notifications, and don't forget to hit the like button. And if you like what you see, leave a comment in below. And until next time, guys, hope you're all staying safe and hope your project's going well. And thank you to all the new subscribers that's jumped on board recently. We really do appreciate all your support and everything you're showing us, and all our existing subscribers who continue to support us. Until next time, guys, stay safe. Happy wargaming.